So good morning, everyone. We've been talking about two different texts this week. The first text that we talked about was Rent Party Jazz on Monday, and then yesterday we looked at an article about internet safety slash making sure that you're looking at the correct information on the internet. So uh, let's quickly go over the two texts, and then we'll talk about some similarities they have and some differences that they have. So Alasia, can you give us a quick summary of the text from Monday?
What was the text for Monday?
Rent Party Jazz, the fiction text.
Oh, there was a boy.
Your phone is still so we can hear, because we can't hear if you're moving.
This boy named Sonny was came home and his mom was so
I can't understand you because your mic is like muffled. I guess you're like moving your finger against the mic or something. I can't hear you.
Sonny went home. When Sonny came home, he saw his mom crying, and he went to ask what was wrong, and his mom was saying that she didn't have enough money to pay the rent. So Sonny wanted to help his mom pay the rent. So he went to ask this magician if he could help him, and the magician helped him, and they threw a party, and they got enough money to pay the rent.
All right, very good. Aya, can you give us a summary of the article that we read yesterday?
What was it called again?
It was the article about the.
Oh, the article was about where people would post something and and some people can't do it and it might not work, so you cannot believe everything on the internet.
Right. Okay. So it was very good. So Rent Party Jazz was a fiction text, and it was about a boy named Sonny who needed to help his mom solve the issue of her not being able to afford rent. So he met this musician who told him about throwing a block party. They ended up throwing a block party, and everyone was able to come. They gave everybody gave a little bit of money here and there, and they were able to pay their rent in the end. And then also with the article that we read yesterday, it's called Were You Fooled? And it's talking about, like Maya said, it talked about the importance of understanding that all the information that you see on the internet, excuse me, may or not be real, and that we have to make sure that we're taking time to evaluate the situations before we jump into it, or before we assume that it's true. We have to make sure that we take time to think about things and think things over. Okay. So when we're making connections between two texts, we always want to look at the similarities and we want to look at the differences. Similarities are going to be, they may be the same genre, which means both of them are fiction texts or both of them are nonfiction texts. That also may be one of the differences is one of them is fiction, one of them is nonfiction, which is what we're dealing with this week. We have one fiction text and one nonfiction text. What are some similarities that we may be able to see between both of the texts? Tamaya? Tamaya? She must can't hear me. Alasia, I'm gonna let you go first, and then Brian, I'm gonna come to you What are some similarities you think we may have between the two texts?
The similarities are
Let me share my screen so that y'all can see the article from yesterday. Can y'all see that? Okay. So what's the similarity that we could see between this article and then our text, our fiction text, Rent Party Jazz?
they both tell about something.
What's something that they both tell about specifically, or something that they both have you do as a reader?
And both of them, at the end, they in both stories they have fun.
They have what?
They have fun.
Do they have fun in this article? Is it about having fun? I can think of one thing. One thing I can think of is that between this one and the other fiction text, something that's similar between them is they both have a problem. They both discuss specifically how to solve a specific problem. So sometimes we always have a problem in text. We all in fiction text, we always have some kind of problem, but there may not be a specific there's not always like a specific problem and solution that would come with your nonfiction text. So remember, when we have nonfiction text, some of our nonfiction texts can just be giving us information. Some of them can be cause and effect, right? But your nonfiction text isn't always going to be telling you a problem and giving you a solution. This one is telling us a problem and it's giving us a solution to that problem. What is our problem in this article, Maya?
That people that when they see something on the internet and they try it and they say they don't believe it.
Right. So the problem is things that we're seeing on the internet may or may not be true, or it may not work for us. Bryant, what was the article's solution to that? Bryant? Or Tamaya? Tamaya, can you hear me? Alasia, what was their solution?
In this article,
Yes. If the problem was that we can't go through that, it may not work for me. I saw something on the internet and it's not the same thing as what somebody else said, or it doesn't work for me like it worked for someone else. What was this article's solution for that?
that they just kept trying.
Kept trying where? Like, be a little bit more specific, because you're on the right track, but I want you to be a little bit more specific about what you're saying.
On social media.
Right. So I'm not going to look for news information on social media. I would need to go to a news website and look for that news. Okay. That is the main similarity between these two texts. There are a lot of differences, right? It's obviously it's a completely different subject. It's a completely different genre. But the main similarity between these two is that they both discuss a problem and a solution. Okay. So this is the same graphic organizer from last week. It's very similar. You're going to go through, you're going to look at the genres. We've talked about the genres of the two texts. You're also going to look at the characteristics. What is the author's purpose of the text? And then what did you notice about the author's writing? And you're going to connect them. What are the two texts? How are they alike? And then how are they different? This is the same one that we did last week. Also, when you're done, make sure that you're logging on to Imagine Learning for math and reading, 30 minutes a day. So you should be doing that every single day, 30 minutes a day. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Comments? Okay, if there are no questions or anything, then I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Make sure that you be here on time. Make sure that when you're on, you're paying attention so that if I call on you, then I can get a response from you. Okay, y'all be safe. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message on Class Dojo, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.